What's going on? Rob Fish here for the latest segment of Bandit Garage. Join me as we learn a little bit about chain maintenance. Welcome back. Thanks always for joining me. So chain maintenance, pretty important, obviously. Anybody who has a shaft-driven motorcycle, this isn't for you, but make sure, of course, you watch all our other videos. Chain maintenance, very, very crucial. We're going to talk about time and interval on how often it should be done, the tools that you're going to need, a lot of rags, a lot of towels. This is a messy job, messy. But again, let's dive in. Let's learn a little bit about exactly what we got. So what we have here are the chemicals we're using today. We have chain wax. You can always, of course, here use chain lube and chain cleaner. That is your chain brush. BikeBandit.com, we sell them, and very inexpensive. Maintenance on a chain is going to be every 300 to 400 miles, depending on, obviously, riding scenario. Wet weather, dry weather, street bikes, dirt bikes, especially because obviously you're riding in sand, you're riding in dirt, mud, river crossings, etc., etc. One thing I like to do, and I'm a big fan of rags, so I like to lay down towels the entire length of the chain run, of everywhere that vertically it could possibly drip off, and I also like to tuck pieces in around the frame area. All right, let's clean the chain. So apply this liberally and do the entire run of the chain. All right, so cover the entire chain. Don't need to go too crazy with it. I mean, the stuff is pretty strong, so easy as that. Keep it going. I like to roll the chain here a couple times. As crazy as it sounds, a little bit of centrifugal force moves it to the outside of the chain, covers all the rollers. Plus having that covered there under the rag, boom. All right, now we let it sit for a bit. Let it do its work. So your next step, take your Bike Bandit chain brush. This thing rocks, and for the bang for the buck, serious value, every garage should have one. What you have is a three-sided brush and a longer poking brush. So the beauty of the three-sided one is, of course, you can put it right there and it gets three sides of your chain. You can take it and then just change 90 degrees and you get the inside. Very, very stiff bristles are going to clean both sides of your chain as well. Get the outer plates, get the inside off on the rings itself, and then for the more stubborn spots in between the actual rollers, that's when you use the pokey one, and inside you go, knocking off, obviously, dirt. Depending on if it's a street bike, it's a dirt bike, there's a lot of different ways. You can go on the top run, you can go on the bottom run of the chain. Some people actually like to come here on and use the swing arm and create some tension and some leverage against the chain, again creating more friction and a deeper clean and a better bite. All right, so well, we've cleaned it with the actual chain cleaner. We've used the brush, we've wiped it on down to dry off that extra cleaner, and now it's time for some chain lube. So I like to actually put it on the bottom rung. That way, as the chain spins around, it'll actually, with centrifugal force, get moved to the outside of the chain. Okay, no need to go too crazy with this stuff. Little goes a long way. I usually like to do 2 revolutions of the chain. So your next step now is, after you've already rinsed off all the gunk from the dirty chain, now you have a clean chain. I like to actually just take a clean rag and go over the entire chain. Please do this with the engine off and just spinning it by hand. Put it up on race stands, put it up on a bike stand, you know, if it's a dirt bike, center stand, if you're, you know, got a bike that has a center stand. Please do not do this with the engine on and the bike in first gear. If that chain moving grabs hold of that rag hard enough, it will suck your fingertips straight up underneath that countershaft sprocket. Really ugly scenario. So again, just nice and easy, just running it. It's okay if this stuff gets a little bit everywhere, because again, you can always clean it up later, but apply a liberal coating of chain lube and chain wax. That does 2 things. One, of course, it dissipates and handles heat a little bit better, and it keeps the rings inside your O-ring, X-ring, whatever you want to call ring chain. It keeps those rings nice and soft, nice and pliable, keeping the grease from the manufacturer inside the chain. And that, my friends, is how you clean and maintain your chain.